Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on that trash can that we talked about yesterday. I think what I'm gonna try. Let's see if we can do this all in one day. I bet we can. But I think what I'm gonna try is to duplicate this, create a high poly version of it, UV map the low poly, and then bake the normals from the high to the low, take it into Substance Painter, create a few textures for it, and then take the low poly and the textures into Unity for a test. What do you think about that? I don't know. Let's see if we can do it. I'm going to go to this layer. I've got that trash can on its own there. And I think what I'm going to do is just first of all grab these two and duplicate them. Well, you know what? Actually, before I do that, it looks like I need to maybe add a little thickness to this because I think there are going to be times when I'm going to have the trash can off. Oh, and maybe I need a handle there too. Let's do that real quick. So let me just take the cursor into that point right there. I'll go ahead and create, what do you think? Maybe just a cube? I think so. And let's put this in place and get it so it's looking kind of like one of those handles there. I'm looking at this right there. Let's scale that in. Maybe a little bit thinner, let's say. Something like that. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to do just to make my life a little easier? I'm not sure if it's easier. Let's see if it ends up being easier here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to mirror it so that as I extrude it down, it and clip it. There we go. So now if I tab into edit mode here, hang on, there we go. If I tab into edit mode here and go like this, let's see. That looks like it could go like, well, you know what I'll do? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and extrude this. So I'll hit E and just bring this down and rotate it a bit. E, bring this down and rotate a bit. I know it's kind of the old fashioned way, but I'm going to go ahead and just do that straight down like this. Now, there we go. So that is our handle for the trash can. Looks a little too wide to me. Like that. Maybe too thick, maybe. Actually, I think it'll be okay. Shouldn't worry about it too much. Get rid of these faces down there. Okay. Maybe I will one more thing. I just can't leave well enough alone. I'll bring that up just a little bit like that. Okay. Still not leaving well enough alone. I'll bring this in like that. There we go. Okay, so there we have our handle now. And then let's give this a little bit of thickness with the solidify modifier. Bring that in just a little bit like that. Yeah, that looks okay to me. And as I said, I'm doing this because I think I may have cause to have the trash can in one place and the lid another place. So I can put them around the scene as needed. So I'll apply that. Now we've got this. Okay. Alt-H to bring that back. Now, I'm going to copy this and move it to another layer. I'll probably want to join those two together, right? The top and the handle. But first, he needs to apply the mirror modifier and then can join those two together. There we go. So that's okay, good. Let's now take all of this and duplicate it with Shift D, and then I'll move it to the next layer here so we can work on it on its own. Okay, so now this is going to be the high poly version. We have no restraints on us. We can go crazy now with this. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and isolate that. Because of that, I'm going to go ahead and right up front add a subdivision surface modifier to it, like so. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to smooth it like that. So now we can just go crazy with this. I'm going to bring an edge up here and I'm going to hold the edge down here. So now I can just do whatever I want here in terms of you know, adding edge loops, adding resolution. I can just go hog wild. So I'm going to grab all of these, extrude those in just a bit like that. So I'm holding that edge down there. Also up in here, I'm going to go ahead and hold this edge right in here, like so. So now let's take a look at this. So we've got an edge here and an edge here, and then we've got a lot of these things going up and down. We're going to have to add quite a few edges there, aren't we? If I just selected everything and hit W and subdivide, what would happen? I'd get this kind of blockiness, and I don't want that. So let me go back. And I think what I'm going to do is just bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and add these. I probably should have done this earlier, but I can do it now. Because we're going to need these for all of this here. You know? Just adding them all the way around. It won't take too long. Sometimes it's just got to be done. Here we go. Okay, there we go. I know there's probably an easier way to do that, but well, it's still kind of blocky, but I think that'll be okay. Let's give this a try. Up here. So what we've got up here, I'm going to insert an edge loop right along here to hold that edge. Yeah. Now what we've got up here is something like this for this right here. 1, 2. We could probably do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I'm going to do probably only need 4. Let's try that. Yeah, let's do that. Looks like we need this one and probably this one to extrude out just a bit. Like so. We need to add some edges to hold that. Like this. I want to hold these pretty tight, like this. And keep in mind, this is just the high poly. We're going to be baking all this to the low poly version. So as I said, we can just go hog wild here. So, hello from Poland, the Netherlands. Hello, everybody. Okay. This is my garbage can from my house. Someone says. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal it here. All right, I'm gonna go like this and like this, and I'm gonna extrude out just a hair. Whoa, stop. I hate when I hit the wrong button. Okay, so let's extrude. Did I already? Oh, I think I already extruded. Let me go back. Okay, there we go. So Shift Z like this. There we go. Okay. I think I will grab that just a little bit tighter there. Like that. And the reason why I used or added all those edges up and down, and what I could have done is gone back and created a cylinder with that many edges, but it's going to be all banged up anyway, so I thought, But the reason why I did that is to be able to select all of these here, like this. And what we need to do is we can inset. Can we inset these individually? Or do we have to, let's see, if I change to individual origins and then use inset, what will happen? Yeah, that's not what I want. Okay. All right. What if I use extrude individual faces? Let's try that. And now, let's try this. Now, individual origins. How would that work in terms of, yeah, see, that's not going to work. I want to inset all of those. See, and that's not doing it for me. I've done this before and it's not clicking. 3D cursor? No, that's not going to work. Is it? Or is it? It's kind of ugly. Ooh. Oh. Okay. It's not exactly what I was going for, but it kind of works. Let me go back here. And let me see. So I've got the 3D cursor there. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I don't, well, let's see. If I do a little bit like this, what's going to happen? It's not bad. Okay, what if I move the cursor to the selected? Now, if I scaled a little bit in, like that, what will that do? It's actually not too bad. I don't like these really harsh edges. I don't like what's happening there. And because I've got, looks like I've got an extra extrusion there, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's because I'm not, okay. That's not going to work. So, individual pivot points, yeah. That's a good point. I think what I'm going to do So I've still, okay, so that's still, I haven't, okay. So what I'm going to do is extrude individual faces. Oh! Then I'm going to go to individual origins. Then I'm going to scale in a smidge. But I don't want to go that far in the Z, so I'll take the Z out and go in like this. But the problem is it's tilting it in, you know? Oh, I know I can do this. It's driving me nuts. You know? Bevel, maybe. Bevel. You mean select those individual edges? Yeah, it's possible. All right. I'm going to try. Why not? No. I still think I can do it with these individual. Let's see. Individual origins. Extrude individual faces. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Is it that easy? Do I just have to move the mouse? Am I working just way too hard at this? I'm going to hold the shift key down and let's see. See, those really harsh edges, I don't like that. That's the problem I'm having. You know? Wait a minute. Where's my... Oh, there we go. Because right here is a face, and look how tiny that face is, you know? And that's not good. I don't know if I can get back now. There we go. All right. Now I've stumped myself. Scale extrusion to center. Double I. Really? You think? Yeah? All right. Oh, you guys are awesome. All right, so now if I scale in just a bit. I like the double I. That's a great idea. Okay, so like that, right? Now I want to take them in just a smidge. And I could do median point, scale in like this. Let's try that. There you go. Yes! You rock. I'm gonna go with it. Good. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. All right, save it. I'm gonna go with that. Thank you. That's awesome. So double I is what I was looking for there. That really helped. Just give me that face to be able to scale that in. That's awesome. I think what I want to do too is grab, let me reduce the view here real quick, and I want to grab some of, oops, these points, and I just want to push these in a bit, just make it so it isn't quite so perfect, just kind of dent it up a little bit. I'm just pressing Control and clicking and dragging and grabbing a few of those. Yeah, just to, I don't want it to be perfect. I mean, I can play with as many verts as I want with this, so I might as well have some fun with it. Alright, so I'm going to increase the views again up to 2. So there we go. Let's see. Let's work on the lid. Let's do that. Let's bring that back, Alt-H, and let's work on this. Shift-H. Now, this guy. What should we do with this guy? Oh, you know what? Let's do. Okay, I got an idea. With this one, I'm going to grab these faces right in here, and I'm going to pull this down just a bit. Granted, I should probably grab these faces as well. I'll do that. And let's pull those down just a bit. Now, let's take a look at how many edges this has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I need that many? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, why not? All right. I'll put those down. And now what I'm going to do is just move them up just one at a time. So let me show you what I mean. I'm just going to grab this and extrude it up just a smidge. Then deselect these and then extrude it up. Deselect these, extrude up, etc. Like that. Oops. And then like that. Alright, so now we've got that. It looks like I went a little too far. I'm going to have to probably adjust my low poly one, but that's okay. I think that'll work. I'm going to go ahead and give it a subdivision surface modifier. 2 views. Now I'm going to have to come through and just add some edge loops to get this to hold. So let's do that. Let's just add 2 here. And let's just add 2 along each of these. Heck, we could even add 3, couldn't we? Why not? Doesn't matter. So something like this. Okay. There we go. I feel like, should we do one more up here at the top? I feel like we need one more up here. Why? I don't know. But I'm going to do it. Move that up. And then I'll extrude that and scale that in just a bit to give that an edge loop right there. Okay. Let's smooth it. There we go. We kind of need a rim around here like this. Or can I use that existing one here? Maybe I can use that existing one here. I'll just move this down a smidge. Take this, extrude it, scale it out just a bit like that. So we get a little bit of a rim there, right there. I could even put another edge in there. Okay, so there's the lid. This is a bit curved and not extremely pretty. So let's go like that. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now we have our high poly trash can with I'm looking at this and I'm looking and it seems a little bit too tall, so I'm gonna flatten it up just a bit and then move it down, and then I'll move this down like that. Are we going to be able to see through that? Let's make sure that the handle isn't poking through. Oh, good. Okay. All right. So there is our high poly trash can. Really high poly. It is 65,000 tries. So that's a little too much, but we're going to use this along with our low poly right over here. So this guy, what I'm going to do is now I need to UV map this. I think probably I'm going to go ahead and put an edge loop up here and an edge loop up here. Let's try this. And then when I smooth it, yeah, that'll kind of clean it up some. There we go. Okay, so we have our low poly here, which is only 512 tries. Okay, so now what I need to do is UV map it. Let's go do that. I'm gonna, once again, I'll isolate this with Shift H, and I think we probably need, let me grab this again and move that down. I don't need it quite so. There we go. So I'm going to add an edge here, or a seam, and I'll add a seam here like that. We'll call this the front, so we'll call this the back. I'll go like this. That will take that all the way down to there. Mark a seam there and one here. Let's go down here, and we don't need a seam here. Let's clear that one, right? So we've got our cylinder, our inside, our top, and our bottom. Let's see how this works. I'm going to apply the scale, unwrap it. Yikes! What is this? What's happening here? Is that the top or the bottom? Let me see. That is the insides. That's the innards, because I didn't put a seam there. Let's try that. Okay. Now let's try it. U and unwrap. Good. Okay. I like it. And the next thing we need to do is the lid. Let's try this. Shift H. Tab into edit mode. Let's try this. For this guy, let's just put an edge right along here. Mark a seam. And let's just mark a seam right down here. Do that. See how that works. U and unwrap. Yeah, okay. I'd buy that. What I could do is put them all on one map, I suppose, couldn't I? That might be handy. Let me just do that. Control A, Control P. There we go. Now I'm going to grab this. And I really want these as two separate things, so I'm going to go ahead and split it out like this. So now it's two things, but that's okay. It'll all be on one UV map ultimately. Yeah, that'll be fine. This is really just a test. I want to just test this. Let's see. Or do I? You know what? For this test, I want, I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to use the whole UV space for each one of these because I want to see how this works. Okay. So we have our UV'd low poly trash can. Let's begin baking this. So to do that, I'm going to first let's work just with the bottom trash can here. Let's do that. So I'm going to take this and this, and I'll hide these. So we just have these two. Kind of feel like our high poly needs to be a little bit bigger. I kind of want to encompass that a little bit more. So I'm going to scale, Shift Z, and I'm going to bring this out just a little bit like that. I think that's going to help. We'll see. Okay, there's that. Let me name these so I know what they are over here in the outliner. Trash can, high poly. That low poly one here. Trash can, low poly. Should pop down to the bottom here. Yep, there they are. All right. So now, let's go back over to the UV editing view. I need to create an image that we're going to bake onto here. Let's go back over here. So new. I'll call this trash can underscore in. I'll go ahead and make the map size pretty big. And okay. So that's our texture that we're going to bake to. I'm going to save it to my hard drive, save as image, and I'll put it in some sort of a textures folder. Here we go. And I'll also, put it in, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, let's do that. All right. Now, what I want to do now is bake it. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to change in the render panel here. I'm going to change my bake type to normal. What else do I need to do? I'm going to go ahead and select clear, so it'll put that purple over everything. I'm going to choose selected to active, and what that'll allow me to do in the outliner, I can do this, is I select one. The first one I select is the selected, and the second one I select is the active. So I select the high poly first, then the low poly. Then, have I done everything? All right, let's give it a try. Bake. No active image found. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I get it. I gotcha. We must do as Blender tells us. So what I need to do is create a new material for this low poly trash can. So let's call that trash can. And then we also need to Shift A, texture, image texture. And in the image texture, we need to put in that trash can normal right there. All right, save that. We don't even have to connect it up. We just need to have it there. Okay, so high poly, shift select low poly, and ray distance. Let's begin with 0.5 and see how that does. All right, now we hit bake. There we go. Oh, okay. So this is odd. That's the interior of it. I think it may be because it's on the inside of it. It's not. coming through. Let me take the ray distance up to 1, and let's retry that. I'll hit bake again, and let's see what happens. Still not really seeing it. So I think maybe what I did with the high poly was maybe made it just a little too big. Let me bring that in just a bit. See if that'll do it. Alright, I'm going to keep the ray at 1 and try it again. Bake. No active UV. Oh, right. Select the poly, then the low poly. Bake. Still not really. I'm not loving that, but it may not be an issue. Let's take it down to 0 and see what happens. Bake it again. Yeah, that's not going to work. All right. 0.75. Let's try this. I'll go with it. That's okay. Let's give it a try. It might be okay. Save image. So we got that one done. Let's now go over to, I'm going to press Alt-H. Let's work on these guys. So I'm going to select these trash can and hide those. Let's now find this and call this trash can lid. This is the high poly, right? And that, or is that the low? I can't tell. Oh, no, that was the high. Okay. And then the other one. Oh, look at the difference, though, in the handle here. That's going to be a problem. I went a little too crazy with that. There we go. Shouldn't be a problem with the UV map, I don't think. All right, so this is the low poly. Trash can lid low poly. Right? Here they are. Okay. I need a new image over here, so I'm going to create a new image. I'll call this trash can lid. 2048's good. Oh, I'm going to call it trash can lid underscore in. Like that. Good. Save image. There it is. Okay, so there it is. I need a new material. Trash can lid. Now, let's bring in that image. Grab it from here. All right, so now that we have it in there, that's good. Now we select the high poly, then the low poly, and then we bake, right? Let's give it a try. I don't like the edges a whole lot. That handle's going to be weird. I could paint that out. I don't even need that. Oh, because of this. You know, I don't like this. That's come through on that. So what let's do is let's, in the high poly version, let's just take that handle out. We don't need that. Let's try that. So, high poly, low poly, bake. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, okay, let's try that. I think that just might work. This is ugly, but as I said, I can paint that out. We can take it into Photoshop or GIMP and paint that out. All right, so I'm going to save this, save image, and there we go. Now, let's go back and Alt-H. I want to go back to my low poly here. Now, let's export this out as an FBX. This is sitting up too high, isn't it? There we go. All right. Now what I'm going to do is export this out as an FBX and then take it into Substance Painter. Let's try that. And let's see. All right, I'm going to select everything, File, Export, FBX, Selected Object. I'll put it in my exports. Call it Trash Can. I'll just call it Trash Can. Right, I can do that, right? And there we go. Now, all right. Now, let's go to Substance Painter. Let's go to New, bring in that exported trash can here. Where is that FBX? Where did I put that? Exports, trash can. We also want those normal maps that we created, don't we? So let's find those. There we go. So select these two. There they are. And then bring those in. Okay. Now, here's our trash can. Here's our materials, right? What we now need to do is bake our textures. So for our trash can here, we want to select a normal map, which is this thing right here. Yep. And then we want to bake our textures. It almost looks like it's going the wrong way. What did I do there? See what I mean? It looks like it's coming out instead of going in. Not sure what I did there. Well, let's keep going. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to choose Bake Textures. I don't need a normal because we already have that. The color ID needs to be material and not vertex color. And let's bake that. Okay. Now for the trash can lid, let's select our normal map, which is that one. There we go. Yeah, see, I don't like that edge. We're going to have to go back and play with that. I think that is how or where the low poly and high poly are lining up. But let's try this. I'm going to bake my textures here. No normal, material, bake. Try that. Okay. So we've got a couple of issues. One, these indentations are appearing as if they're coming out, and that's a little odd. I don't know. Here's the normal. Yeah, I'm not sure I can flip that around at this point in time. I'd have to go back to Blender and look at how I baked it. But while we're here, let's have some fun while we're here, because we can take our trash can material and maybe use steel rough. Let's try that. Okay, that's kind of cool. All right. Then let's use, what else should we use? How about, what's this? Steel rust, iron rusty. Ooh, let's use that. All right, so let me bring that down here. And then I'm going to right click, add a black mask, add a generator, and then use this dirt here. Let's try that. That's not bad. Let me invert it here. There we go. Oh yeah, I'd buy that. Yeah, why not? That looks kind of cool. All right. We could randomize it or try another pattern. Okay, yeah, well, why not? You know what I could do now is let me create a group and put all of this in the group. And then I could just take this group, copy it, go to the trash can lid, paste it, boom, trash can. All right. So I've got a couple of issues with the baking process along the edge here, and I think I know how to deal with that. And I've also got an issue where these are coming out instead of going in, and I'm not sure what I did to deserve that, but it's happening. So that's okay though. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Let's call this trash can. Trash can. Okay. And then let's export these out now. I will go to File, Export Textures. I want to export them as Unity 5 Standard Metallic. And I'll put them in my Substance Painter 2 export folder. Let's go create a folder in there. Call that trash can. And then I'm going to export this out. Come on, work for me. Okay, all right. Yeah, is it going to work? Really? Okay. Now let's go to Unity. I've got a, this is the scene I was testing the car in. I've got a little kind of an asphalt concrete texture there. And so let's bring everything in. I want to bring in that FBX, right? So let's go to exports, and there it is. Bring that in. I also want to bring in my textures, which are here. There they all are. So we've got the trash can lead, albedo, metallic, and normal, as well as the trash can itself. So I'm going to take all of these and bring them in. All right. Still thinking here. There they are. I'll take that trash can and drop that in. Let's go take a look at it. There it is. Okay, so now let me put her on the ground here. There we go. Let's try this. I'll come over here to the hierarchy. Let's work on the trash can first. In the inspector, there's the material that was brought in from Blender. I'm going to bring that color up to white. And let's, so this is the trash can, right? Trash can, albedo. Trash can, metallic. Trash can, normal. Fix now, because it looks awful. And there we go. So there it is. It's looking a little dark, but that's okay. I think I know what we can do to fix that. Let me bring these in now. The lid, the metallic, and the normal. Fix the normal, thank you. Okay, so there's our trash can. Now, it's a little bit dark, but I think the reason why is, let's try this. Let's bring in a reflection probe right here. There we go. And let's take that reflection probe to real time for now. Yeah, that helps. So there you go. So there is our trash can. It's a little bit shiny. I think what I'd do is I would go back into the Substance Painter and reduce or increase the roughness. So let me see. For the steel, I would probably increase the roughness here for the steel. Yeah, let me try this. Bring that up some. So it isn't quite so shiny. That's for the lid. Do the same for the trash can. So I think this will probably help. Drag that up a bit. Yeah, see how it isn't quite so bright there. But that's pretty cool. That is, so we began with a low poly trash can. We created a high poly one. We baked the normals, took it into Substance Painter, played around with it there, and then brought it in here. Yeah, now you have to admit, that's kind of fun. All right, yeah, talking about Substance Painter, I think I'm paying like $19 a month, and I've been doing that for I think 2 months, so I haven't had this a whole lot. I'm going to see if it's worth it. It seems pretty cool. I mean, I have to admit, it's pretty amazing. I'm certainly not an expert at it, but it gives pretty good results pretty quickly. If I looked at the chat every once in a while, I'd understand why the normals are flipped. So why are the normals flipped? Are they? They're flipped in Unity? Let me go back to Blender. Did I flip him here? Let me see. No, I don't think they're flipped here, are they? I mean, if I hit Control N and turned it to the inside, that would be flipped, right? Control N. I think they're okay. Are they? Are you seeing something I'm not? Anyway, well, what else? Let's see. Well, I hope this has been helpful. Recalculate on the high poly. Really? You think? Did I flip it on the high poly? So here, back on the inside like that. No, see, that's flipped. Control N, and that's not. Yeah, I don't think they're flipped. If you're seeing something that I'm not, well, let me know. But I don't think that's flipped. So, DirectX versus OpenGL. Maybe that's a good point. Yeah, I will check that. That's a real good point. When I bring it into Substance Painter, instead of bringing it in DirectX, bring it in as OpenGL. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Well, I hope it's been helpful. You know, this is kind of that was kind of the whole process there. Um, so I think tomorrow I'll try and get back to actually working on the alley, the rest of the alley. Try and maybe finish up another building, as well as some maybe some pipes, and also maybe these telephone wires as well. Maybe we can use the path tool or something to create the wires there too. So anyway, I've had a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I like doing something a little bit different every day. That's kind of fun. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'll see you tomorrow. So take care.